Don't want to regret this. Like, you gonna regret it. I swear to God.
Just go back, bro. I just don't want to hear your mouth no more.
Basically, what I'm hearing is that basically he's just fucking lazy.
You purposely miss your flight so you can stay home?
Jamal is sitting on the kind of opportunity most creators would trade years of their life for, and he barely seems to want it. First, he turned down his own brother's advice on how to actually build a channel. Then he refused to even show up to Streamer University. Then he missed the flight on purpose just to avoid going back to him. And the wild part is, none of that is really about laziness, no matter how many people online keep calling it that. So let's actually look at what's been handed to him, because the numbers alone are hard to ignore, and then look at exactly why he keeps turning around and walking away from them. Jamal didn't have to build an audience from nothing. He didn't spend years grinding for his first 1,000 subscribers the way almost every other creator on the platform has to, posting daily into the void, learning editing by trial and error, hoping one video finally breaks through. His brother handed him the spotlight directly in real time in front of millions of people watching.
Bro, help your brother hit 100K? Wait, he's live right now? Oh, he about to hit 100.
I hope so, bro.
He's about to hit 100K.
We gotta subscribe, guys. Nobody subscribed yet. Nobody has subscribed. Come on.
Yo, chat, everybody, oh my God, he's about to hit 100K. My brother's about to hit 100K.
100,000 subscribers, please.
Yo, everybody, chat, everybody sub to him right now, y'all.
W's in chat, come on.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes! Let's go. Let's go.
That's one of the fastest runs to 100,000 subscribers YouTube has ever seen. And it happened almost entirely because of proximity, not content. Watch how little Jamal actually has to do in that clip. The excitement, the push, the constant reminders to subscribe, almost all of it is coming from speed. Jamal's mostly just there, along for a ride someone else is actively steering. A week later, he was at 200,000. He currently sits at 462,000 subscribers off just 112 uploads total, numbers that would take most creators half a decade to reach on their own, if they ever reach them at all. For comparison, most channels that size have thousands of uploads behind them, years of consistent grinding, and an actual identifiable niche people specifically show up for. Jamal has none of that, and he's still ahead of almost everyone trying to build from zero. There's also a quieter cost to growing this fast that doesn't show up in the subscriber count. An audience that discovers you through someone else's spotlight isn't the same as one that found you on your own and decided to stick around. That kind of borrowed attention can disappear just as fast as it arrived, the moment the spotlight moves somewhere else. It's also worth asking what Speed actually gets out of pushing this hard, because none of it benefits him directly. He's not taking a cut of Jamal's channel or building some kind of family media empire off the back of it. The advice, the flight calls, the messages left on read, all of it reads like someone who genuinely wants his brother to have what he has, not someone managing an asset. That context matters because it reframes the whole dynamic from a business disagreement into something a lot closer to an older sibling watching a younger one sit on a winning ticket and refuse to cash it in. So the actual question isn't whether Jamal has the opportunity, because he clearly does. It's what he's actually doing with it.
I was going to explain to him why I don't stream, but you came in.
Why don't you stream?
Okay, let me close the mic. Chat, the reason I don't stream that much, the reason that I can't hop on, do a little quick, like 2-hour desktop or something or go IRL is because I'm lazy, I'm nervous, and I play the game a lot.
Right.
I'm addicted to the game. That's one of my addictions.
So why don't you just stream gaming? Why don't you just be a gaming streamer?
I would, but I always want to do IRL, so I'm indecisive right now.
Yeah, you don't even know what you want to do, bro.
Not really.
Basically, what I'm hearing is that basically he's just fucking lazy.
Not anyone else's. He's lazy, indecisive about whether he even wants to do gaming or IRL content, and genuinely addicted to playing games for himself instead of performing them for a camera. That's a pretty rare level of honesty for someone sitting on this much opportunity, even if it's not the answer anyone in his position wants to hear. Most creators would spin that same answer into something more palatable for an audience, dressing indecision up as still figuring out their brand, or framing burnout as needing to focus on quality over quantity. Jamal just says it plainly, on camera, without any of that packaging. Whether that's a lack of ambition or just a refusal to perform ambition, he doesn't actually feel is worth sitting with, because those are two very different things that tend to get treated like the same one. And that honesty shows up live too. not just in interviews.
You know what? This is my time. I'll do whatever I want. So, I'm not reacting to clips. I'm doing what I want to do. And I want to play Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe, Catch a Tiger by his toe. I was going to play some Roblox. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I wasn't planning on streaming today. I don't know what to do, bro. I don't know what to do. I can't play, just reminders.
Telling your own chat you're doing what you want instead of what they're asking for is either refreshingly honest or a pretty direct way to lose the exact audience that got you here in the first place, depending on how you look at it. Most creators who've actually had to fight for their numbers wouldn't risk that trade, not even once, because they know exactly how replaceable that kind of goodwill is. A viewer who feels ignored today is a viewer who quietly stops showing up next week, and there are always 100 other streams competing for that same attention span. Jamal doesn't seem worried about it either way, which either means he genuinely doesn't feel that pressure the way other creators do, or he simply hasn't been doing this long enough yet to find out what happens when an audience actually leaves. Speed clearly saw the gap and tried to close it directly, more than once.
I don't think you should multi-stream. I think you should either choose YouTube or Twitch. But Twitch might be better than you, though.
You think so?
Yes, I already told you, YouTube only works for me because I started on YouTube. I built my fan base on it.
That's fair.
I built my fan base on YouTube, and I'm the only streamer on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Stream on Twitch and go back to YouTube.
What?
Can I stream on Twitch and go back to YouTube?
What do you mean?
I want to keep YouTube and Twitch.
Then just post like YouTube videos on your YouTube channel. You know how I got 2 channels, Live Speedy, and just make Jamal like that channel your Live Speedy, like basically like your clipping page.
Oh, you think so?
So your YouTube will still gain subs. Stream on Twitch. That's what I'd do if I was in your move.
That's the exact kind of platform strategy creators pay consultants real money for, and it's coming free from someone who actually built an audience from scratch using it. Keep the main channel as the real brand. Treat a second channel as a clipping page. Stream on the platform that actually rewards live engagement instead of splitting attention across both. It's not complicated advice, but it's the kind of thing that takes most creators years of trial and error to figure out on their own, usually after wasting a lot of time on the wrong platform first. Jamal never streamed on Twitch. He stayed exactly where he was, uploading sporadically with no consistent branding, no real theme, nothing that looks like someone trying to build something that lasts. Speed pushed even harder when Streamer University came up, trying to explain what it actually was before Jamal wrote it off entirely.
Don't want to regret this. Like, you gonna regret it. I swear to God.
Just go back, bro. I just don't want to hear your mouth no more.
As a brother, I'm really trying to help you out. I'm trying to make sure you streaming. I'm trying to make sure you're going to Streaming University. It's not about that. It's about...
What is it about?
It's about gaining connections. Streaming University is not teaching you how to stream. It's teaching you about game.
Streaming University at this point. Fuck that shit, bro. That's gonna be a big waste of time. It's gonna teach me shit I already know.
Turning down free, networking with some of the biggest names in the industry isn't really a small decision. It's the kind of opportunity that quietly determines whether a career lasts 5 years or 15. The relationships that turn into future collabs, future deals, future everything down the line that has nothing to do with subscriber counts on any given day. Most creators spend years trying to get in a room with people like that, sliding into DMs that never get answered, hoping a collab request eventually comes through. Jamal had a direct invite from his own brother, no gatekeeping required, and in this exact conversation, he wasn't interested at all, no matter how many times Speed tried to reframe what it was actually for. That same pattern showed up again, this time in a way that felt a lot more personal than professional.
Jamal, y'all probably wonder where Jamal is at. So look, let me tell you what happened about Jamal, right? So Jamal was supposed to come back to me. He had a connecting flight. He was in Cleveland. He was gonna go to Cleveland, to Detroit, to Miami, right? So y'all know how he had a connecting flight to Detroit. His lazy ass missed the flight on purpose to Florida to stay in Detroit. This connecting flight on purpose so he won't have to come back to me. And I'm like, and Jamal, yes, I'm calling your ass today, Jamal. I'm calling your ass. I'm calling Jamal ass, because how you gonna
Missing a connecting flight on purpose, specifically to avoid going back to be with your own brother, isn't an accident or bad luck with the airline. That's a deliberate choice, made in real time, weighed against actually going back, and Speed clearly didn't find it funny by the time he was explaining it, live to his entire chat. There's something almost childlike about the way he went about it, too. Not confronting Speed directly about not wanting to go, just quietly engineering a reason to stay put, and hoping it would look like a circumstance instead of a decision. Understandable, Maybe. From someone who still isn't fully sure how to have that conversation directly with an older brother this famous. Still frustrating for the person on the other end of it, who just wanted a straight answer.
Look. This is me and my brother messages. He don't text me, chat. I swear to God. My brother really be egoing me, chat. My brother egos me, yes, chat.
Pulling up your own messages on stream to show your chat that your little brother won't even respond to you is a genuinely uncomfortable thing to witness. No matter which side of it you land on, this isn't a joke that missed the mark, or a bit gone too far. It's real frustration from someone who's clearly tried more than once to reach him and kept getting nothing back. And it's a strange kind of frustration, too, because most people can just call a sibling who's ignoring them and eventually get an answer in private. Speed doesn't really have that option in the same way. Even his attempts to fix a family issue happen with an audience watching, which probably makes the whole thing harder to actually resolve, instead of easier. But Jamal has actually been fairly direct about what's going on underneath all of it, in his own words, more than once, when the cameras gave him the room to actually say it.
At least 3 years. And see how it is. I want to cut contact with everybody over there and just be myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Take a break off of speed streams. Take a break off of, like, streaming in general. And start, worrying about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to, not cut contact, but, I want to be, let's say I want to be a regular kid. I want to be a regular kid. I want to do stuff without a famous brother. Let's say that. I want to do my own stuff. I don't want to have my brother be the main center of attention. Like, every time I go to school, they bring up speed, yada, yada, yada.
Wanting to be a normal teenager instead of a permanent supporting character in somebody else's story is not an unreasonable thing to want, especially when you never actually auditioned for the role. Every conversation, every comparison, every stream, all built around a level of fame he didn't choose and isn't sure he actually wants for himself. School conversations that always somehow circle back to his brother. Strangers who know his face before they know anything else about him. Millions of people who feel entitled to an opinion about how he's living his own life, simply because his last name comes attached to someone they already watch. That's a strange amount of scrutiny to inherit before you've even decided who you want to be, and it's worth remembering that most people his age get to figure that out privately, through trial and error. Nobody else is grading them on. Jamal doesn't get that luxury. He's spoken publicly himself about getting bullied at school over things tied directly to his brother's fame, which is about as concrete a cost as this kind of visibility gets. Every phase, every mood, every offhand comment on a live stream becomes evidence in an argument about his character that he never signed up to be part of. But here's the part worth sitting with for a second. Hunger is not something you can just hand someone alongside a subscriber count. Speed built his the hard way. No platform, no head start, no famous last name doing any of the early work for him. Every single follower he has, he fought for individually, which means wanting something badly enough to sacrifice for it became part of who he actually is, not just a strategy he picked up along the way. That kind of hunger usually gets built out of necessity, out of having nothing else to fall back on, out of watching a video underperform and needing to figure out why instead of just shrugging it off. Jamal skipped that entire process. The opportunity showed up fully formed, handed to him before he ever had the chance to want it enough to go earn it himself. You cannot manufacture that same hunger after the fact, no matter how much good advice gets handed to you, the same way you can't hand someone the memory of being hungry. It either happened to you or it didn't. And that's really the tension sitting underneath this entire story. It makes total sense that Speed would want his own brother to take the same shortcut most people would kill for and actually run with it, especially watching him leave that much value on the table. But Jamal never had to fight for anything to get here, which means he also never got the chance to decide for himself whether he even wanted it in the first place before it was already his. Calling that laziness, at least in the way it keeps getting described, misses what's actually going on. Two people want completely different things here, standing in the same spotlight, and only one of them actually asked to be there. And maybe that's the actual lesson underneath all of this, more than anything specific to Jamal or Speed individually. Opportunity and desire don't always arrive together, and when they don't, no amount of good advice, free networking, or public pressure can force them to line up. You can hand someone every tool they'd ever need to build something real, but you can't hand them the reason to actually want to use them. There is also a simpler explanation underneath the whole thing, one that has nothing to do with hunger or opportunity at all. People are genuinely fascinated by watching someone turn down something the rest of us would kill for because it forces an uncomfortable question most viewers never actually have to answer themselves. What would you do if the hard part was already handled for you? It's easy to say you'd grind twice as hard, post every day, treat every opportunity like it might be the last one you ever get. It's a lot harder to know that for certain until the opportunity is actually sitting in your hands, with none of the pressure that usually forces people to act on it. Most of us will never actually find out. Jamal did, on a live stream, in front of everyone. And the answer he came back with wasn't the one people wanted to hear. So here's the real question. When an opportunity this big gets handed to you instead of earned, is walking away from it a waste? Or is it actually the most honest thing you can do with something you never asked for in the first place? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, smack the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next one.